Yo, world, what's going on? Welcome to another interview with one of my most successful students, the Bishop. Bishop, what's going on with you, bro?
What's happening? What's happening, AD? What's going on with you?
I'm good. I'm good, bro. So I just want, it's funny. I had somebody who I did a screening call with, right? And at the end of it, he was like, "Hey, man, I just can't justify your price." And I was
Yeah.
just like, "All right, bro, if you want to continue to be cheap and be broke, then you do that, right?" I just like to let the success of my students speak for itself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I never try to take credit for anyone's success. Like I gave you the roadmap, but you did the work. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Just like there were people who got started with you who did not do the work, who did not get success. The difference
Yep.
wasn't the roadmap. The difference was your work ethic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I just wanted to ask a few questions. We're gonna start from the beginning. Like, what was your situation like initially,
Yeah.
beforehand? What is
Yeah.
it like in the program, and what is it life like now? You know what I'm saying? After the
Yeah.
fact. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
So
Yep.
let's start from the top, man. So what was your life like before joining the program, and what were some of the challenges and frustrations you were facing?
Yeah. Life before joining the program was just it was okay. It was okay. When it comes to like career trajectory and stuff like that, I really wasn't thinking about where I saw myself 3 years, 5 years down the road. I'm married, have two kids. Was working a government job. Government jobs are pretty stable too, pretty stable, but at the
Mhm.
same time, they just don't necessarily pay as much as a private sector would. And so honestly, like things were okay, but I've heard someone say we're all but some people, majority of people are but one or two paychecks away from being in like real trouble. Ain't but
Mhm.
one paycheck, and you're gonna be in trouble.
Mhm.
And that happened like to the household. Both of our cars went down at the same time, and it was like, whoa.
I do remember that.
You
Yeah.
remember this? And it
Yep.
was like life got real really quick. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, I was like, look, sat down with the wife. I was like, look, we have to make some changes in regards to how much income we're bringing into the household. So when that happened, that's what kind of led me on the track of wanting to make a jump. Again, things were comfortable. Uh,
Until they weren't.
Say again
Until they weren't.
until they weren't. And it's like, okay, we're not doing as well as I thought we were. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Being the father and the husband, you kind of want to be in a position to always look forward and be visionary on that side. So
For
that's
sure.
that's what things look like prior to joining the
Okay.
program. Yeah.
Now, did you have any hesitations or doubt about joining the program? And if so, what were they?
Yeah, bro. I thought you were scamming out here, bro. I'm just
Okay. Okay. Go
I'll give you
ahead.
this. No, real talk, real talk. I don't know if
For
you remember
sure.
we talked, but people out here for real, they'll get people engaged, and
When you
then
say
they
out here, you mean Atlanta?
I mean, in general. I mean,
I
Atlanta's
heard
for real.
Atlanta's the home of the scammers, though. That's what I heard.
Atlanta
I don't
was
know.
listen, no. You get scammed out your eyeballs in Atlanta, like quick,
Okay.
quick. Walking down the street, hey bro, what's your name? Da da da. Woo woo woo. But honestly, like hesitation at first was like, okay, I'm filling out this program. I don't know if it's truly what it's going to be. Really, a six-figure job in the next few years. Da 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 da. And that was my hesitation. Not just
Hmm.
that, but again, I just said that we were in like a tight financial dynamic.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then think about like, man, I'm going to have to put out more money on top of the tightness that I'm feeling to pursue this. And I still have reservations about what it'll look like. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that probably was more so of my initial hesitation. But looking at it now, no, it was one of the best decisions I could have made, bro. Like for
Love
real.
it. Love it. So, were you skeptical about about being able to break into the tech industry without a prior background, and what made you decide to take the leap anyway?
Absolutely. Because and you've talked about this, and all of us, well, people that are trying to break into tech, we do a whole bunch of research. We watch a lot of content. We watch a whole bunch of people on Instagram and YouTube talk about the different avenues to get in, and it can honestly be overwhelming. And
Yep.
so some of the skepticism was like, the route that I choose, will I really be able to get in? Like, will this be a viable vehicle for me to like jump into the art, the tech space?
Hmm.
Um, and that probably was one of the initial, skepticisms about even, joining a mentorship program in a sense. I think one thing that kind of, I don't know, kind of calmed me down is that I've realized the power of mentorship, or someone that has already been where you want to be, they're
Hmm.
able to simplify it. And so therefore I could have attempted to do this myself. Could I have done it? Maybe. Could I have done it? Maybe not. But why not seek out somebody that's already where I want to be? Let them shorten the track of learning, skilling all the way through. That way, the time dynamic isn't as long as it me, by
Spend the
myself.
money, save the time.
Spend the money,
Spend the
say,
money, save. That's my whole motto for 2024, bro. Just so you know, and I'm being transparent, I spent over $50,000 this year on mentorship.
yeah,
This I know. I know.
oh,
Me in
shit.
February would have been like 50, bro. And this is, and I will tell you, in by all measures of the word, this is the best my life has ever been. Like my
Wow, wow,
relationship, my body, like my
yeah,
mental, my business, everything, right?
wow,
And then crazy small story. I forget. I'm not gonna try to get the details.
yeah,
There's this group of humans somewhere on Earth, I forget where they like live in the mountains, right? Like even to today, right? They're
right.
just a small like tribe, right? And they go about their regular day. They have babies, and I think their average life expectancy is like 20 something years old, right?
What?
And the issue that's because they never come down and get to benefit from like all the medical advancements
Uh,
of like the rest of human society, right?
uh,
They're literally being born and having to learn how to live, how to walk, how to talk, all that on
that's
their own
crazy.
without anyone else's help in society. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying?
that's
So like
wild.
to me, that speaks to like why you want to pay to get access to someone else's wisdom. Otherwise, you're starting
Yep,
over and you're getting it out the mud. And it's like, for what? I mean, I'm
yep,
saying I want to buy a blueprint that's going to help me get there faster. I want to spend the money, save the time because I can't get my time back.
yep. That's it. And like you said, now that I've seen this, I'm like, whether it's real estate, whether it's whatever in the future, find a mentor that's done this, investing. It don't matter what it is, life coach, whatever it may be. That's where
Yep.
you spend the money, save the time.
Yes, sir.
So
And it's a lot easier to say spend the money after you get a pay raise bump of $30,000, right?
absolutely. Yep. Man, easy,
I
easy.
like it.
Go
So,
ahead.
how did the program compare to your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, it was everything that I expected it to be. From our initial intake call, you talked about what it is. I'm gonna show you what RPA is. I'm gonna show you what development is. You're gonna have some project-based, projects to
Mhm.
build out some automations. We're gonna refine those automations. Then we're gonna set you up to get in the job market, and that's what it's gonna look like. Not just from just a resume, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it may be, like all the way through. And so from the top to bottom, you said it. I believe what you said, and it every check, every mark got hit. You know what I'm saying? So the expectations were met.
Love it. So, was there a particular moment where you felt confident that like I've made the right decision? Like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Made the right decision. I
Obviously, once you got the job, you were like,
yeah.
yeah,
Even
okay. But
but
before
even
that,
before that, I would probably say once I started interviewing, and once you start getting affirmation from hiring managers, and then nodding their head like, "Oh, you speak the language," because it's a language we're talking.
yes.
Robotic RPA is a language. Can you speak the language, and can you put that language into a story that tells me you know what you're doing and know what you're saying? So the affirmation for me was probably maybe second or third interview. I'm starting to see more nods from hiring managers. They're like,
Mm.
okay. So
So you're
therefore,
checking out their body language.
yeah, checking out body language, and then
Mm.
I'm like, that affirms me to say like, you know what, Bishop, you know exactly what you're saying. Be confident in that. So
Exact, bro. That's what I tell people. They're like, "How long is the program gonna take?" And I'm like, "Bro, the learning of the RPA part can be done in weeks,
yeah,
if
yeah,
not, a month.
yeah.
The confidence to interview and to show up like I'm that guy. I know what I'm doing. That's the part that takes the longest.
That's it. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So can you describe like what the support and the guidance was like once you did join the community?
Oh, it was good, man. It was good. I think at the time it was myself and maybe two or three other guys in there at the time. And we were all, there was like this kind of competitive edge to us in there
I'm
a little
stirring up
bit.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, AD would get in and just stir up the pot like, oh, okay, Bishop, you got this two-star done, but look at this dude who just, you know what I'm saying? He just
Mm-hmm.
finished three-star. Can you catch him?
Mm-hmm.
Support was good. Questions would be asked in there. You would hold the weekly sessions, weekly where we would come in and you would look at a bot or look at something you might be working on yourself, and we
Mm-hmm.
would ask questions. What is an API call? What is this framework? What is and stuff I didn't have any idea what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So the support was great. We kind of pushed each other. When interviews started coming in, it was like, all right, let's go Bishop or let's go whoever, go knock it out. So the support was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, was there a specific lesson or strategy or one piece of advice that you got from me while in the program that really stuck with you?
One piece of advice. I think you hit it early. Like be confident. Like be confident. And if people can't tell, I tend to talk a lot. I always think about this too. Sometimes AD would be like, bro, stop talking. He's probably thinking that right now. So he's like, look, bro, you
No,
talking
no,
too
no.
much.
You used to use these big ass words. I'm like, bro, simple, small words, simple.
But you know that is so real. So between the be confident and simple, like those things I think about even now. So I have an interview tomorrow. I have an
Yeah.
interview tomorrow for another position. Like simple, like that still rings in my mind. Like Bishop, be simple. They ask you yes or no, and just let that be. You don't have to sell
Yeah.
yourself. Like be confident, but simple.
You know what's crazy, bro? I just went to this. So when I shut down enrollment in the university, I went to this business conference in Florida, right? What I believe to be the best business conference on earth, right? And all of the people who are speaking, let's say there were 12 speakers or whatever, right? They are the best on earth at what they do.
Mm,
Says the numbers, not my opinion, like the numbers, like the number one digital sales guy, the number
wow.
one digital marketing guy, right? And I was just amazed at how simple they kept everything. It
Yeah.
was like one, two, three-step process to increase sales. It was, I'm like, bro, this is for me. If business is supposed to be simple and I'm a simple guy, I'm about to blow the lid off this. That's why every time we talk, I'm like, bro, I'm about to take it to a new level. Cause it'd be different if they were like, all right, here's the 25 things you got to do to succeed.
Right.
And they'd be
Right.
like, bro, that's
Right.
overcomplicated. But
Yep.
it's all, they keep it the best on earth, keep it simple. And that's what I think we hire mentors for, right? It's
Yeah.
for us. They give us what is complicated in our head. They simplify it and give it to us in bite-sized chunks so that we believe that we can do it. And then when we finally get the result, it's like, oh shoot, we look back at everything we did, and then we can chunk it into simple things. I did this. So you came in, you learned RPA. We
Yep.
talked about sprucing up your resume and your digital presentation. We talked
Yep.
about how to interview very well, how to communicate, and then how to go about getting a job. It was
Yep.
really 4 steps.
That
That's
was it.
what it was.
Facts.
You
Fact.
know what I'm saying?
And we'll tend to complicate if we get in our heads too much. We'll complicate all that. Learn
Mhm.
RPA. How can I learn this? What is this all? No, it's like no, learn it. Step two, this. And like having you there to be able to simplify this. Hey man, relax. Boom, boom. We gonna get there. Take your time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, so many people worry about like the technical part of RPA, right?
Mhm.
How did the program help you develop the necessary skills, even if you were starting from scratch, like no tech background whatsoever?
Yeah, so I had absolutely no tech background outside of using, you know what I'm saying, Microsoft Excel or whatever it may be, the Office suite at my job prior to
Mm-hmm.
within the program, again, I think the simplicity of having the mentor there, having you there, just made things seamless. So, looking at the studio dashboard, okay, what is that? This is where a variable goes. What is a variable? All right, this is where this. What? How do you debug? What is a debug? Okay, I'm not sure. What is unit testing? This is foreign to me. Again, it's a language. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's
Yep.
like
Yep.
dropping me off in Korea, and I don't speak the language. But
Mm-hmm.
then I have someone that comes alongside me that's Korean that speaks both English. No, it's okay. I'm gonna get you there. So um, don't let the technical side of things scare you away. If I can learn it, anybody else can learn it. And there's levels to it. You know, I'm
For
sure if
sure.
you jumped into something real quick, you had a jump knocked out like that, and it may take me a day or two to do it. But you're a little more skilled there. But within it, no, the technical dynamic, it's digestible. It's drag and drop. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Exactly. So did you ever feel overwhelmed by the content or the process itself while in the program?
The only time I felt some level of overwhelm was just the pushing out those applications, bro.
Yep.
But hey, again, the driving motivation for me, it was like zero or nothing. Like I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for myself. I need to be in a
Mm.
position, to where I can take care of my family as much as possible. So I didn't have an option. Pumping out
Mm-hmm.
applications, 10. I think a few times you were like, bro, you're not doing enough. I'm like, dang, really? And you're like 10, 15, 20. I'm like 20. You're like, yeah, bro, but it's just the math. You got to get them out. And so even from that standpoint, that probably was one thing I kind of was like, but again, once the interview started piling up and they
Mm-hmm.
started coming in and I began to interview better. And then eventually, once the offer letter came in, it was like, oh man, that's what it was
And
about.
you know what's crazy to me? We try to make it so I compare myself. You're a professional. I'm a professional, right?
Right?
Steph Curry's a professional.
Yep.
Dude shoots 500 shots a day, every day, 7 days a week for 10 years. That's difficult. Like it's gonna take you. How long you think it's taking him to take 500 shots? An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? We're talking
Maybe.
about 20 applications, bro. We talking about 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when people, you're not the first, and you're also not the last to be like, oh man, that's a lot. And then they get a rejection email, and they're like, oh man, see, don't nobody want me, right?
Yep.
And it's like, no, bro, you have to continuously take shots. You're going to be told no more
Yeah.
than you're told yes, but
Facts.
you only need one yes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then as you can see, I told you, you get that first job, then the
Yep.
floodgates open. Now the next, oh,
Okay.
the rest are coming just like water. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
So it's just funny the stuff that people tell themselves, bro, because it's not difficult. It's
And
the
like
I think it's the fear that makes it difficult.
bingo. And like you said, I think one thing that I realized I really was in the mode was I began to get numb to the nose. We all get the rejection from the ATS system. I started
Mm-hmm.
to whatever, just ignore them. But then you start getting the emails from the recruiter. Hey, Bishop, we saw you apply for this job. We'd love to do an intake call. It's like, oh, this is real. So
Oh shit, somebody do want me.
yeah, for real.
Okay. So for those who doubt that they can stand out in the competitive job market, right? How did the program help you build a strong digital presence and social skills to help you be more attractive to employers?
Digital presence. Yeah. Again, something I did based off your recommendation was to create a YouTube channel, which I did. And I'll tell you this, I don't know if that's a hack. We can cut this out if you need to, or whatever. But
No,
that
here's the thing. We're gonna keep it in. We're gonna give
yeah,
it to them because they're not gonna do it no way because they
yeah,
lazy.
yeah. No, that's real. It's
Yeah.
funny. I talked to a few people about that. Long story short, but a digital
Did they
presence,
do it?
no, not to my
See,
knowledge.
it don't matter. Like, unless you're gonna put the work in, I can give you the game.
Yeah,
What you
yeah,
really pay a mentor for is the accountability piece. Like, hey,
yeah.
bro, I told you to do it. You ain't did it. You must not want to make no
Yep,
money. And I'm gonna
yep,
make fun of you and I'm gonna laugh at you in the process.
yeah.
So go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Crazy. But the digital presence, yeah, from that, the YouTube channel was great. That allowed me, like hiring managers literally said, hey, I watch a YouTube channel. I'm like, oh shoot, this actually worked. Because people are getting comfortable with me. They're getting comfortable how I talk, how I articulate things. Even if I mess something up, they're comfortable. That was a
Mhm.
digital presence. And then of course, like I said, I'm a believer in LinkedIn. I'm a believer of the
Mhm.
network. If that's something that you tend to do. I have met a lot of people on LinkedIn, but again, stuff I didn't think about. I wasn't in the job market for 7 years prior to transitioning to RPA.
Mhm.
Therefore, my LinkedIn was dry. I had no connections. My experience wasn't updated. I had this old picture from a
You weren't
headshot.
smiling in it
I
either.
wasn't smart stuff I didn't think about. But you told me like this is stuff we need to change. This is
Mhm.
stuff you need to look into. So small little tidbits like that you get from the mentorship program is what helped me establish that digital footprint, which made employers more comfortable with saying, "Oh, this Bishop guy looks like he's someone that I can see on my team. Let's bring him in and see what he knows."
So did you? I recall you said you had a hiring manager say, "Hey, I saw your videos." Was it one or was it multiple?
Oh, bro, I had like two or three.
Really?
I
Okay,
had
I
like,
remember you told me that, and I literally tell that to people on these screening calls, right? Because
wow,
I mean, I have YouTube videos, but I have like from way back in the day in college. I have like a website. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? Which is another,
gotcha.
but it doesn't matter what you have. You just need something out
Yes.
there so that they can click a link and say, "Okay, this guy's really doing it."
Yep.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
literally going to use like tomorrow. Like I said, I have an interview. I'm
Mm.
going to. I don't know if they've seen it, but I'm going to tell them like, yeah, I have an interview. I have a YouTube channel. You can check it out to see what my skill set and competency is.
Perfect.
That might
And
make me
then that
stand
way
out.
they don't have to take a bet or a risk on you. They see it,
That's
right?
it.
You've become the kind of guy who can do what they need. And here's the other thing. I don't know if I've ever told you this, bro. I had a guy reach out to me. This was back when I was working with you, maybe a little bit after you got hired. And he was like, "Hey man, my cousin just moved across seas from another country, and it's him and his wife and his kids and needs some income. I want you to do an interview for him. Like
I remember
we're
this.
gonna they're gonna set the interview up. They're gonna apply for some jobs. His face is gonna be on the camera, and like he's gonna be doing like this, but like you're actually talking." And I was like, "Bro, that sounds like a terrible idea." And both y'all sound lazy. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So
Facts.
what you're doing by having this YouTube channel and you show your face, you show them your face and your voice. They now know you're not one of those people, and that is
Right.
very prevalent. There's so many
Right.
people in the industry who do that. So that's why I tell people just becoming the guy
That's it.
capable of doing the job. Like you eliminate 90% of your competition because people are doing things like that. You
Yes.
know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
And
Like,
yeah. And I attribute that to the YouTube channel. Like, I don't even show my face. It's really just my voice. But
yeah,
I'm breaking down the automations I built and a few of the same projects through your program that you do, that you tell your students to do, the same projects on my YouTube channel that got me in front of hiring managers. Because again, to that point, we hear you saying it, but you're showing me what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, but you're speaking about it. Now I hear you articulate it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're comfortable. Then they're like, you know what? Let's give this Bishop guy an opportunity to interview for the position. So,
For
like you said,
sure.
you give him the game. Yeah.
That's it, bro. That's like you going on a date with a chick and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a wife. And she's like, well, what you looking for? I'm looking for someone who can cook and clean. Well, and that's like her saying, hey, come over. I will cook and clean.
Right. Right.
Straight
Yep.
up.
Yeah. Just like that.
It's straight up.
That's
Very,
it.
very, very straight up. Okay. So then how would you say life has changed after completing the program? And can you share like a specific milestone or success that you've achieved as a result?
Yeah, absolutely. So life has changed significantly. I give glory to God for that. With that, I think there's a level of respect. People look at me kind of different now when I talk to them about what I do. So they may ask, oh, if I meet somebody at I don't know, tire shop, or what do you do? I'm in the technology field. Oh, okay. So you do like IT network? No, not that. I'm an RPA developer. RPA, what is that? That's robotic process automation. The next question, oh, so you do stuff with AI? I'm like, no, I don't. But even for
And now you got
you,
to spend all this time explaining to what you
I don't
don't
even
do.
I don't even explain all that. But to that point, just like, but to still prior to that, to be even, because we know AI is a big thing right now, to be in a career that is associated with something that's cutting edge, it just feels good. You know, it makes me feel like, you know what, I'm doing something that a lot of people aren't doing and they can't really speak to. Outside of that, I would also say a milestone is that we were able to purchase a new vehicle for the family. Didn't have
Yeah,
the
no
funds
more
to do
car
so.
problems.
Say again?
I said no
Oh,
more
no,
car problems.
no more car problems. And we still got the other two fixed out there, but now we have another one. So now the burden of family in the car breaking down, something not right with it, transmission going out, that's gone. Now it's like, hey, tell the wife, y'all take the new one, take the new one. You good? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. That one
And
ain't got no problems. That one
yeah,
brand
ain't got
new.
no point. You just hit the button, you good. So, but outside of that, that wasn't afforded to me outside of getting and making the career shift into the tech space and specifically into RPA. So
Yeah. So then, I think I recall it, but I want you to tell it as vividly as you can. So, what was it like when you actually got the job? Like the call, were they like, "Hey, like paint the picture for us. Where were you at? What was going on?"
bro, listen, I'll know. It's stuff you never forget. Like for my lifetime. Like I'm not gonna forget this. Driving home, and at this point, I was kind of like a little defeated a little bit. You know, I think I had been going to interviews a little bit here and there, and just wasn't getting what I thought, you know, I was going to come that, no, come as fast as it did. And that's all right. I had to put some work in, more work in. I had to refine my interviewing process that you helped me do. You got to
Mhm.
stick with it, Bishop. Do better here. Answer this question differently. All that stuff. Driving home from my other job at the time, I'm probably like 5 to 10 minutes away from home, and I get a call from one of the hiring managers. I'm looking at my phone. You know, our iPhone has that thing like it doesn't tell you who it is, but suggestion. And I'm like,
Mhm.
why is he calling me? Hello, hey Bishop, this is da 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 from my current job, and he's like, just wanted to see if you still be interested in coming on board our team. We want to go ahead and hire you, bro. I had to pull over into the Publix parking lot. I had to pull over because I'm like, whoa, came out of nowhere. Pulled over in the parking lot, and we're talking. He's like, yeah, so your offer letter is going to come over in the next 30 minutes. Sign that. You're going to hear from our HR rep. We want to be able to get you in to start on this date 2 weeks from now. And I'm like, this just got real. And then again, like you said, that $30,000 bump in salary, I'm like, wow, this ain't no joke no more. Like you are in the tech space and you are like an RPA developer now. There's no more theoretical trying to figure this out. And
Mhm.
that's a feeling you can't replicate, man. You can't replicate that.
I love it, bro. So, do you recall like how many interviews you actually went on before you got the job?
I
I
think
want to say it was like five,
I
six. It,
think
it
it
was
may
less
have
than 10, right?
It was less than 10. I think may have been 7, something like that. Maybe six,
Somewhere
six
in
or
there.
seven, somewhere in there.
And if I recall correctly, didn't they initially passed over you and then came back, right? Which
Yep.
was like, I remember like that's crazy, bro.
And you called it too. I don't know if you remember this.
What I say?
I sent to you the email from the recruiter. I said, look, this was my first interview, by the way. My current job was my first interview. Again, I went on like 6 or 7, something like that.
Oh,
I
this was the first company they were the first one you interviewed with?
Bingo.
So you did
Yep.
that one, and then you did
Yep.
6 others, and then that
Yep.
one came back around.
There you go.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
that's my story. But you said this too. I remember looking at the job description with you and everything after the recruiter contacted me. And you said, "Oh, you're gonna get this job, bro. You're gonna get this one." And I
I
was
said
like,
that.
"Oh,
Okay.
yep, you said that. You said it." And then I'm like, I don't know why AD was lying to me, bro, because I've been on like 5 other interviews and nobody contacted me yet. But you called it. And that is the exact role that I'm working in today. You know what I'm saying? So
I probably said that because they were based in Atlanta. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
And
no, they're
as I
not.
was
No.
saying,
Yeah, go ahead.
earlier, I think before we got on the call, I was like, it's hard to find English speaking talent, American talent, good talent,
Yep.
and in your local market, bro.
Yep.
You like that's very hard to come by because most RPA developers are remote at this point.
Absolutely. Yep. And so the current job I work for, they're actually based out of Ohio, but the team is so the team is fully remote. But
Okay.
with that though, at the same time, I think that was a dynamic to it. And dealing with government. So they want to ensure that, you're a citizen, they don't have to
Yeah.
sponsor
Yeah.
you, things of that sort, which I was, I fit that dynamic a little bit more so. So
Okay.
yeah,
So,
bro.
how would you say your confidence has grown since becoming an RPA developer professionally and finishing the program?
Oh, it's I mean, there's
You were always a confident guy, though.
yeah, I always was a confident guy, but there was things you learn about yourself through a process.
Yes.
Especially again, just for myself, getting those different no's at time, you begin to doubt yourself a little bit. But again, once you get that one yes, you're like, wow, you're doing it. So even for myself now, the confidence is there. Like I tell myself, like you set a goal, you invested in yourself,
Yep.
you put money into it and you saw it all the way through. And now you're reaping the benefits of it. So if I apply that same model to anything,
Yep.
then it's possible. That's it.
Yep. Absolutely. So, what would you say to someone who's like on the fence about enrolling in the program, especially if they're unsure about like actually investing in themselves?
I mean, you have to believe in yourself, number one. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and you're coming into it with doubts, then maybe it's not the right, what I'm saying, program for you. But you have to be committed. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to have a dynamic of faith involved as well. Like even if you feel like you don't have the funds to be able to do so, let me be the testimony. It's possible. Again, I told you, I said both of our cars went down. I got 2 kids over here and a wife, you know what I'm saying? Literally stressed out, going to
Mm-hmm.
a hospital for heart palpitations. And then now I got to spend money for a coaching program to get into a new career path. It didn't add up. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, I was committed. I didn't doubt. I was like, I'm gonna take a step of faith. This AD guy gonna have to come through. He gonna have to come through with this, coaching me. And I was able to reap the benefits of it all. So if you're doubting yourself, um no, it takes some commitment and dedication. So
Love it. So then, looking back, is there anything you wish you had known before starting the program, that would help someone else out who's like at the start?
someone that is at the start. One more time. Answer one more
Or
time.
let me ask you this way: what advice would you give to your former self who was on the fence about joining, who's thinking about it? Like now that you're on the other side of it, you're successful, you did it. If you had to do it all over again, or if you had to talk to yourself who was about to start, what advice would you give them?
You got to go for it. Don't be driven by fear. I mean, it sounds mundane, right? It really sounds
Mm-hmm.
mundane. Oh, you're just talking about this. Don't let fear drive. We hear this all the time. Like, no, legit. I would tell myself, don't be driven by fear. Don't be driven by fear. Have the faith to believe that you're going to see it through, and that's it. Because what's on the other side of it is so much more worth than what it is on this side. Like on the other side, I had no what else did I have? I mean, making the salary. I'm
Stress,
grateful. Say again.
stress.
Stress, yeah. And I was grateful for my job at the time, but it
Mm-hmm.
just was not what it needed to be. So I would tell myself, you have far much more to lose by not taking the opportunity than taking it.